Praise the Lord. On Sunday, there was a heavy rainfall. And then on Monday morning again, it started. On Sunday, like the child of God that I am, as a baby, I had my bath in the rain, happy. Monday, I went out, went to work, did everything, and came back home. I opened my kitchen because that's where I usually go out from. Usually when I come in, I'll drop everything on the cabinet, wash my hands before I go into my room. And when I go into my room, before I come back to the kitchen again, until maybe I'm looking for water or food to eat. But on this Monday, I didn't wash my hand. I just dropped the things I needed to drop on the cabinet, went into the room to drop my bag. And in my head, the next thing was undress. And I kept telling myself, you never wash your hand. Something just kept saying, you never wash your hand. And so I just turned back to the kitchen to go and wash my hand. I saw one tiny thing on the ground, moving like this, moving like this, moving like this. I said, it's with this one. It was struggling to move on the tiles. I said, what did they do this one? What did this? I was busy asking myself because I didn't know what it was. I said, okay, maybe it's earthworm. I said, but earthworm cannot be this swift. This movement is too fast. I said, okay. My cousin told me that if you put salt on earthworm, the earthworm will now do like this and cut. I went and brought salt. I was still looking at the thing. It was moving. I poured salt. Nothing happened. It didn't die. I said, I've been a snake with this thing. So I went and I brought a slippers and I hit it. At the first hit, it didn't answer me. It just continued. I was looking for where to go and enter. And then I hit it again. Maybe it now fainted. I used something to pick it. I went outside and I kept it on the back of my motor. I went to pour fuel on it and I burnt it. I am here to thank God today because if this snake had entered one part of my house, maybe my store, I would have been living with a snake, breeding a snake, maybe even feeding the snake. It would be eating my rice and my stuff in my kitchen. I am here to thank God who has delivered me because that's a great deliverance. I want to thank God who turned me back from my room to the kitchen to see that snake. And I want to thank God who has consistently delivered me. Even the one that came inside my house by himself.